Howdy ho! Welcome aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday Hump Day. It's the 15th of June. It's the Ides of June. Welcome to the show. This is Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am Scott Steehn. I'm your host, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And every single day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, you will find us right here in this very spot, helping you guys in that journey to head back to the window to cash those winning tickets. So, Scott, how'd your Tuesday go?
Went well. Had a tennis play from a couple days ago that I gave out, which finally happened, and that won. I liked the guy plus 4 games. I said he might win the match as a plus 300, and he won the match as a plus 300, which was pretty nice.
Solid.
And I faded your Royals, and that was a fun play that I winner yesterday.
Easy money, to quote.
It wasn't
Arios.
easy. It should have been easy. And then Stallman came in, walked 2 guys, hit a batter, and then a sac fly brought home the eventual winning run for me for Giants minus 1.5.
There you go. J.C. Stone says, what's cracking? Nothing, man. Just my knuckles, baby. Lex Steele checking in. What's up, Lexi? We just did a personalized 10-team parlay for Lex. He requested one with no doubling up because he can't bet the same game in a parlay. So Chris did 10 separate picks on 10 separate games for his 10-teamer. Very good.
Hopefully that works out for you.
Rye Cave says Steen's the hardest working man in sports betting. That's right, buddy. Triple header for me, as you and I did Morning Wood this morning with Allie Burns. And then I did, of course, parlays with Chris. I'm here wrapping it up with you. Better late than never. Had a dog defecation emergency. I took him out to pee real quick. He kept tugging. He wanted to go further. I'm like, dude, I got to go back. I got to do the show. And I sit down and start to do the show. I start to get the smell. He's over in the corner pooping. I'm like, okay, great. So
He gave you a warning.
he did. I couldn't blame him. He'd already pooped once today, so I thought I was safe. But yep. So anyway, that sums it up for me. Scotty, I did the concert last night. Had a good time. Usually my wife and I go to a lot of shows, and it's just like newer rock, and we play the game. Are we the oldest people there? That game last night, we could not play that. We were not the oldest people there. My buddy and I. We were.
So you were sailing away.
we were sailing away. Yes.
Okay.
They're talking about, that we just turned 70. We're trying to figure out what we want to do with our lives. Like, come on, guys, let's let it go. I got Tommy Paul earlier live plus 355. Almost got Sissipas at plus 205. He won the first set and then bombed out twice. So
Tsitsipas on grass, not exactly a fun choice there. He's not very good on grass. I wouldn't say he's awful, but it's definitely his worst surface. If you want to look for Wimbledon odds, I believe Tsitsipas has the 5th or 6th lowest odds. Don't bother. He's not going to win. He's not very good on grass, and just get used to it. I don't mind the play, though. Kyrgios is a bit of a lunatic. We know that he occasionally can punt a match if he just doesn't feel like being there. But he felt like being there today, and he outplayed Tsitsipas in the second and the third sets.
Jones says Atlanta. Braves are hot down there in hot Atlanta, baby. That's right. 13 straight?
Yep.
Very good, Braves. Very good indeed. Big X in the house. Richie P says, what's up? He said they hit the like. There you go. That takes me right into my admonition for you guys. They make sure
he did the thingy.
You do the thing. You do that thing that we asked, man. Hit that like button. Smash it. Smash the like button, as the kids say. Make sure you get over there and get subscribed. And I know you're listening to us on Max Wagers Network because that's where we're at these days. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please get subscribed. A lot of great content on the Max Wagers Network. Of course, starting off at noon with Sean Higgs doing Midday Money. I'm surprised we haven't been on that show yet. Just do 4 in a row, Scott. Just keep it going. Allie Burns doing Morning Wood at 1 o'clock. You and me and Chris at 2. You and me at 3. Sean Miller at 4, talking about soccer from across the world. And, of course, Detroit Lenny and the Earl brothers bringing it on home at 5 p.m. with your game time decision. G Money said the Braves made him $500 yesterday. First half minus a half. Nicely done. Jones says, always hit the like. That's right. Just like voting. Do it more than once. Hit it on your computer. Log in on your phone under a different name. Hit that like button. Go that extra mile. That's all we're asking. Super Size says Celtics tonight. I still believe for one game anyway. Well, the Celtics aren't playing tonight, so you've fallen You've fallen into the same trap that I did, Sly.
Just assume every day is an off day.
You're thinking the game should be on a Wednesday. It should have been on Sunday, Wednesday. Yes, Sly, you're absolutely correct. It wasn't. It's on Monday, Thursday, of course. If. So there you go. We got a great new deal at Caesars, Scott. On it. It's similar to the other deal, except it's $1,500. $1,500. They will match you if you lose it. So if you win it, you've won your bet up to $1,500. Congratulations. But if you can't, maybe the Braves, maybe you're all over the Braves, and they finally decide to lose. So don't worry about it. Caesar says, you know what? We'll make it good. Once again, up to $1,500, and the code on that, it is a new code that you're going to have to use, and it is Video Winners 15. Video Winners 15, all one word, of course. And if you don't remember it, don't worry about it. It's in the show box, as well as the link. Must be 21 to play. Caesars has got to be in your state. Unless you're in Wyoming and New Hampshire, then you only have to be 18, which is cool. And, yeah, make your first bet your best bet. That's what I'm saying to you right here. So, what else we got? We told them to like and subscribe. We told them to get over there to Caesars. I'm tell you to check out my premium picks. I got that link in the description as well. Been running pretty good this week, so make sure you hop on board the old premium picks. Anything else, Scott? Anything else I'm forgetting?
No, not really. Not that I could think of.
Jones says she's going to ride the Braves till the wheels fall off. I don't blame her. That's a good team right now. Reichel says Father's Day Game 7. NBA will make sure it happens. No, Father's Day is this Sunday, buddy. Right?
Isn't that the point? Game 7 would be Sunday.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I was thinking they were still early.
This is also stupid because you have another 2 days off in between Game 6 and 7.
Yeah, of course they're all travel days, but I get it.
It means you have 2 games in about a week.
It's just stupid.
What are we doing?
Just stupid.
Or 2 games in like 8 days. Like, this is really just next level horrible scheduling, and whoever organized this should be fired.
Who do you guys like in the NHL tonight? Well, we like different teams. However, I will say this: I like
the Islanders.
I liked Colorado, but I'm not interested in laying 160.
You're a regulation guy?
No, not in this game. I think it's going to be tight. I think the value is on Tampa Bay.
That's why I like Tampa.
If you're talking about who I think is going to win, I think Colorado's going to win. If you talk about where the value is, I think there's only one place there's value, and I think it's on Tampa Bay at plus 140 or so.
It's very tough to turn down Tampa getting Braden Point back, who's a top 3 offensive player on their team.
Yep.
Colorado's still missing Kadri, who is, can we say, the 3rd or 4th best offensive player on their team?
I think that's right in the wheelhouse for where his position is.
So he's out. Gerard's out. Do you like either goalie for Colorado? I mean, Kempfer, I guess, is a little bit better, but they both weren't great against Edmonton.
Well, how many games did Kemper play against Edmonton? Because he hasn't played for 2 weeks.
I was going to say he got injured in about game 1.
Game 1, right? Yeah.
And he gave up like 5 goals before that, but he got injured.
Wasn't good. That's what she said. Very nice. So yeah, it's one of those. You'll run across those games every once in a while where you go, well, I like this team. I think they're going to win. And then you look at the price. You're like, no, I can't do that. So then you have to look at the other side. So this is a game where it's going to be just value to me, where I'm going to take a team that is arguably just as good. And I know Scott would certainly argue better than Colorado.
I think it's close, but with the injuries, I do think Tampa's.
And you're getting 7-5 on your money. So yeah, I'm going to have to hold my nose and play the dog there. So
I agree. At the end of the day, you have Vasilevsky against a goalie that you are okay with, not thrilled with.
Right.
But Tampa's been there before. Mm-hmm. I know the crowd should be amped up there because it's the first Cup game in Colorado in about 21 years. But I just think Tampa's the better team as of right now based on the injury report.
Okay. All right. Very good. Super Slice says Kadri's probably 4th best, but most importantly, he can play solid second-line center minutes.
You can argue that Kadri's also like the 3rd or 2nd most valuable player because he'll injure the other team's best player.
Yikes. Yikes.
I'm just being honest. Kadri, of course, had a nice moment there with the hat trick against St. Louis, but throughout his entire career, he's been known as being a cheap shot artist. So, just going to throw that out there.
Okay. All right. Well, he just needs to hear some more racist stuff about him. And then that was
what got him going.
Everything will be fine. All right, Scott. Let's find out what happened yesterday, man. Let's get right to it as we break it down. Talk about the the good news and the bad news. Now I was like I said, I was without basic internet for like 3 hours last night. I couldn't check any scores.
How did it feel?
It was weird. It was weird.
Okay.
I needed all those people there. Like the outdoor amphitheater, probably 8,000 people. I think everybody was on their phone, and they're like old people, so they're probably on Facebook. So they couldn't stop posting shit on Facebook, would be my guess. So yeah, it was hard to grab a Vine last night. So I had to wait
Use
till
the dial-up.
I had to wait till I got home. I wait till I got home to check all my scores. So
how'd it go?
It was all right. We hit the farm, which was a good thing. Well, we want to hit the farm every day, but I really wanted to hit it yesterday since that line.
Because we said minus 130.
Yeah.
It closed at 150. If we're gonna give out,
It closed at 180.
I didn't even realize it closed at 180.
Dude, by game time it was minus 300, minus 180 on the Braves.
I can't say I'm surprised.
No. That's one of the reasons we took it, because we thought it was a great deal at minus 130. We thought it was a good deal at minus 150, but I got to say, we're not going to come here and give you a 180 on a run line. That ain't going to happen. Yeah. So we're glad it hit. We're glad it hit. Yeah, and I had the Guardians on the run line. That almost turned into a Giants situation. Where the Giants were able to get home. Cleveland just couldn't get that extra runner to cover the run line, so they win, but they don't cover. And I split them up on the premium side. Missed on. I took a swing with Tampa Bay plus 190. I loved the value there. Of course, Cole once again did whatever I didn't want him to, and keeping his perfect season intact. I had Toronto on the run line. They disappointed a lot of people last night, and then we did better with the Mariners over Minnesota and the Dodgers Angels under 8.5 there in the.
Do you have a specific baseball player who just seems to always burn you, or he always does well when you want him to struggle?
Garrett Cole. This season.
Cole's your guy?
This season has been Garrett Cole, absolutely.
My guy is a position player, but I'm curious how many times Cole's actually burned you.
I'd have to look at his starts. Probably 4 times.
Okay.
Bubic is another one.
Recently, Carlos Santana.
Okay.
I will fade Kansas City, and he will get on base 3 to 4 times.
Every game. That's amazing, because he's hitting like 180.
Oh, I know.
So
he was leading off the 9th inning. I need nobody to score for Kansas City. 1-2 count, and I'm just like, all right, he's gonna foul off 7 pitches and walk. What do you do? He fouled off 5 pitches and walked. Like, yeah, all right.
Yep.
Sounds about par for the course. Just Santana seems to always get on base whenever I want him to get out.
Yep. Fair enough. So let's talk about the overview of what happened yesterday, man. The winners, whiners. All those people that they had nice easy wins, and this is not for you. These are the people that got ripped off at the last minute. You know who you are, man. You're the one that I see you at the concert. You got your flip phone out, and you're calling the cops. I think the head bob to the siren is the most interesting development as far as our show goes.
That's catchy, man.
That's just top-notch entertainment right there, buddy. So we'll start it off in the major leagues. If you had the Arizona Diamondbacks, excuse me, I'm sorry. If you had the Phillies, oh man, I didn't load them up. Sorry, Ben. Too many shows today. Nothing's loaded except your host. So
we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Damn it. So if you had the Phillies on the money line against the Marlins, they led 9-8 after 8 innings. Miami scores 3 runs in the top of the 9th. My God, those two teams get together, you're going to see fireworks as far as offense goes. How about that Phillies bullpen, Scott? They lose 11-9. Rye's not a happy man, by the way. Rye Cape, not a happy man today.
Bullpen's usually rough, but in Philly, it's especially rough.
Indeed.
If you had the Rangers on the money line against the Astros, pretty nice plus price. They led 3-0 after 7 innings, and then Texas bullpen happened, and Houston scored 4 in the 8th inning, and they lost 4-3.
Yep, very good.
It's happened before, but when you're getting plus money like that and you're up 3 runs more than 2/3 of the way through, that's a pretty bad beat.
Don't care for it. And finally, if you have the Reds team total under 4.5 against the Diamondbacks, you're a fantastic handicapper, man, because they had no runs in the first 9 innings. But we're not done yet, kids. 1 run in the 10th, 2 runs in the 11th. Oh, for God's sake, could this game just fucking end? Not quite. 2 runs in the 12th. Congratulations. They finished with 5. Brutal beat. Probably the beat of the week right there, Scott.
Oh, it has to be, because it's the Reds Diamondbacks with Molly against Davies, and you have no runs in 9 innings. Then on top of that, the Reds were up 3-1 in the bottom of the 11th. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Can I interest you in back-to-back wild pitches to score 2 runs, which sent the game to the 12th?
Make it stop. It stop.
2 wild pitches and 3 pitches to score 2 separate runners to tie the game.
Brutality, my friend. Well, there was some good news out there. These are the people that had nice, easy wins. Maybe you saw the first part of the game. You're like, you know what? I'm going to go to that concert instead. I'm going to go have a night. And you could do that because you didn't have to sweat your bets because you were in the rocking chair, man.
So the first one, if you had the Braves Nationals over 9, you had 10 runs in the first 3 innings, and the game landed 14.
Yep. Don't get a lot easier than that. Hey, speaking of offensive output, if you're up there in the high in the mountains waiting for those runs to start pouring in, last night was a disappointing night for you as the Guardians Rockies under 11. They had 6 runs in the first 9 innings, and they went to extras, and they didn't do anything stupid. They did what you're supposed to do. They scored 1 run. That game landed 7 after extras. Congratulations, you were in the rocking chair.
I really didn't understand that total. I understand that it's in Coors, but you're going to put a total of 11 or so with Bieber on the mound?
Yep.
I found that a little fascinating.
Somebody in my comment section was taken aback by the fact that the team total for the Guardians was 6.5. He said, I got to fucking play the under there. And he did, and he cashed.
That's fair.
Yep.
But the last one, if you had the Red Sox minus 1.5 against the Athletics, the Athletics are not a good baseball team.
Nope.
And they trailed 6-0 after 4 innings, and the Red Sox held on 1-6-1.
Boston playing quietly good baseball right now.
I don't even know if it's quiet. They went from being like last place in the AL East to being a fringe wild card contender.
12 of 15, I believe.
Are they in possession of a wild card spot now? They're like right there. I don't think they are because I think that Tampa and Toronto are still obviously ahead of them. But I'm pretty sure they passed the Angels.
Well, let me look here. The Boston Red Sox are currently 2.5 games back of the second wild card spot.
That's not bad.
The bad part is, could be good news, the 2 teams in front of them, both in their division.
Yeah, but I'm just saying Boston was way out of it after a month, and they've had a really nice month and a half.
Yeah, nice resurgency as they've not only pulled it, even at 500, they're 4 games over right now. So, yeah, very good. Cleveland also playing good ball. They're just a half game back of the Red Sox. And, yeah, good times. Good times indeed. Royals not quite there yet. They're 12 and a half games out of the wild card spot. All right, my friend. Well, let's talk about this. I know this is more your speed, so I'll let you take care of business here with this one. We're not going to find out, Scott. I got to admit, this one didn't make me mad, but of course, we were disappointed. I don't know why that rolls into that so many times. I have to hit the perfect. It has to be just perfectly timed for that not to roll over to Battleship. So apologies to everybody. But
well, it's a historic event, so you can leave the sirens in there.
Fair enough. Well, Scott, it was a big day for English soccer yesterday, but not in a good way. You want to tell us what happened?
Yeah, so they're having currently some type of event. It's called the European Nations League.
It's the UEFA Nations Cup, right?
Yeah, UEFA Nations League. So it's not exactly a huge competition, but there's a lot of international teams that are taking it somewhat seriously. And England was in, let's just say, a good spot, taking on Hungary. And England was about minus 300 on the money line. They're playing it in the UK. And I believe England minus 1.5 goals, for example, was minus 130. So England prohibitive favorite. And they got absolutely smacked.
Smoke.
They lost 4-0 in front of their home crowd. It is the worst the worst loss by the England men's national team since 1928. 1928. Hungary. 4-0.
Not good. Not good, Bob.
There was a red card, but it came after pretty much all of the goals were scored, so they can't even blame it on being a man down. But losing 4-0 at home, That's pretty rough.
That's liable to lead to anarchy in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Going to lead to a bit of a clash.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Not bad. Not
There
bad
you
at
go.
all. All right. So let's check in with the comment section here. Everyone at Scott's concert had rocking chairs. They had wheelchairs, buddy. It was my buddy had a handicap placard that we've tried to use. They were out of spots.
It was a rocking chair, just mobile.
It was the rocking chair concert. Oh my God! Phillies had a guy in third, didn't score. There you go. Super slide. That's embarrassing, England. And Bronco Devil, of course, big Hungary fan apparently. Scott, we talked about this a little bit. We haven't talked about it in this context. What do you think? Every time I see LIV, I keep thinking, what do you think the 54? Because I'm so Super Bowl trained. What do you think the LIV players, how you think they'll be treated at the U.S. Open by the fans?
I think they'll get booed, at least on day one. Now, if you're talking about a situation where one player has a massive birdie putt or something down the stretch, they're not going to boo the guy for making some crazy golf shot. But opening tee, I think a decent amount of boos. Once again, I think the whole thing is just stupid. I think that if the players want to pursue more money elsewhere, they should do whatever they want. It's their lives, not mine. I don't really care. But when it comes to how the fans are going to treat them, a lot of fans have some type of unwritten sworn loyalty to the PGA. So I think they're going to boo the LIV. As a golf fan, if I was at the event and the guy's also on another tour, why the hell do I care? Put together a good round. I'll enjoy the entertainment. And if you make a good shot, I'll clap for you.
Okay, fair enough.
I think we're in agreement. They're going to boo. I wouldn't personally boo because I think it's actually decent for the sport. I don't mind having multiple leagues with good players.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
Well, it's not about it's a twofold problem with the PGA.
One's where the money's coming from, but we'll talk about that.
Well, that is it. That's the other part of the problem. The problem is leaving the PGA, and the bigger problem is where the money's coming from. So, but if we start penalizing countries that do things we don't like and not having sporting events, you're going to lose a lot of your international competitions because you see F1 racing in places like Azerbaijan, Miami, places with real problems. Bronco Devil says his wife is Hungarian. That's why he was cheering for Hungary. I like Hungarian food quite a bit. I'm a big fan of Eastern European food, Polish food.
I don't think I've ever had Hungarian food.
Little goulash, little stuffed cabbage rolls, stuff like that. Maybe have a little fisherman soup, chicken paprikash. No, none of that.
No, sounds interesting though.
Pierogies? You eat pierogies?
Well, Bronco, that's what I said before. It was like when players used to sign with the USFL. Now, of course, the where the money's coming from argument's completely different.
Right.
But the NFL and fans kind of turned their back on players who decided to go to another league. And when Steve Young and Herschel Walker came over, I'm assuming initially they weren't exactly well-liked by everybody. Would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't.
You think they were just beloved as soon as they made the transition?
Yep, they folded. They were happy to have them. You had Jim Kelly, Steve Young, Herschel Walker. Who else? Who else you have in there?
I'm trying to think of other players. Those are the main ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Super Slice says, my friend works in the UAE, and he says, cash those checks quickly, boys. Saudis are notorious for not paying. Take that for what it's worth.
The thing is, I really can't criticize the athletes from taking money from wherever because...
Doug Flutie. Right,
Flutie, thank you. Yeah, good call, Super Sly. Thank you. But for soccer, we just mentioned England, I root for Man City. And it's mostly oil money.
Right.
So am I supposed to, root against the LIV players but keep rooting for Man City? I'm consistent. I don't care one way or another. It's a team I root for. It's golfers I like. I'm not going to suddenly hate Patrick Reed because he decided to take money elsewhere. Why does that concern me?
Nicholas Lee says it's free money. Why not take it?
If you can live with it morally, then whatever. Why does that concern me?
I mean, yeah, if you get down to the granular level, and if you're on one side of the political spectrum or another, you're going to find companies that do things on the other side that you don't like. But you still use them. You still give them money. So
most companies that make most of the stuff tend to do a lot of shady shit. I can only imagine how many sweatshops were used in the making of my clothes and my iPhone.
Sure. Yeah,
But people still buy it anyway. So it's one thing to take a moral high ground, but like, come on. Like, realistically, people are going to buy iPhones, people are going to buy Nike shoes or whatever anyway, regardless of what the means are that they come from.
James Mount says, what's wrong with oil money? Nothing wrong with oil money. I think the problem is the way the Saudis have a record on human rights. And I think the last straw for a lot of people in the anti-Saudi sentiment was the killing of Khashoggi. Just saying.
There's a lot of, once again, moral issues involving Saudi, but the money itself is coming from oil.
Yes.
That's why I said oil money.
Oh, no, I totally agree. But I'm just saying all oil money is not created equally as far as the eyes of the people that have a problem with this. Again,
just saying, I know you can't fully equate it, but I'm curious how many golf players who still are with the PGA that called out the LIV players potentially have some stuff that was made in a sweatshop or two. Just saying.
Sure.
You know, like, if you want to take the moral high ground, you kind of have to go all in, don't you?
That's the way to play it. Otherwise, you certainly run the risk of being called
once again,
a little bit of a
convenient.
hypocrite.
You know, people don't typically care which 8-year-olds in China are making your phone, but
right.
I'm just saying, you know, the working conditions for a lot of companies are not great, and morals go out the window pretty much entirely in the business world.
Yeah, I do have a bit of a problem with the people that are out there protesting against Saudi Arabia holding up their iPhones.
Like, yeah, it's a little bit ironical.
Yeah. I don't think that's a word, but yeah,
it's not. I was joking. It's ironic.
Nicholas Lee says, "This is how the world works. Somebody has to take the poop end of the stick." That's right. Somebody gets to take the poop. Somebody's got to clean it up, buddy. That's the way of the world right there. It's good to be the king. That's all I'm saying. Jones says, "Money talks, BS walks. Nobody cares. There's no more morality anymore." I disagree with that. I think if you're a parent, if you're raising children, there's certainly morality. You have to impart a certain amount of morality to your offspring. You're fucking.
We're just talking about businesses. And
you can live like a libertine, buddy. You have no obligation to be moral.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love pierogies, says Nowak. I grew up eating that. Boil them, cover them with melted butter and onion. I like to cook them and then put them finish them off in the frying pan with butter and onion. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. A little sour cream on top, absolutely. Make your own damn clothes, damn it. That's not happening, JC. Sorry, buddy. Bronco says, I grew up on Cocoa Puffs. Hungarian Cocoa Puffs. They put paprika on top of them. Very interesting dish. What do you like for tonight? We talked about the hockey a little bit. You got a thought on the total?
I am leaning to the over.
Okay.
Vasilevsky, I know, has been amazing. I get it, but both teams are still very high-powered offensively. And I'm still not sold on whichever Colorado goalie they're going to use.
Yep.
We saw Tampa in Game 1 against the Rangers had a bit of a sloppy game because they hadn't played in about a week and a half. Colorado hasn't played in a week plus because, of course, they ended up sweeping Edmonton. So I expect them to be a little bit sloppy defensively. I think you might see an up-tempo game here. We know the power plays are really good for both teams. I'm going to lean to the over. Not to mention all the empty netter shenanigans that could unfold at the end. So I'm going to lean to the over. I think you'll see a lot of chances for both teams.
Any chance we can get this down to 5.5? You think it's stuck at 6?
I think it's stuck at 6. I think both teams offensively are too good for it to go to 5.5.
Yep, I thought the same thing. I was just throwing it out there. Super Slice says loves Hungarian Langos. I don't know that I've had those. Okay, now I have to fucking look those up. Oh yeah, everybody's I have made some Hungarian food, Joan, and I can say that about all of it. It is all very fucking labor and prep intensive. A lot of it is. So I used to make some. I got a great recipe for stuffed red peppers with like Hungarian paprika sauce, and it's fantastic. But it takes me like 4 or 5 hours to fucking do it. Or my dad would say he cleans the elephant poop out of the circus. Very good, Nick. Bronco says, bad thing is my wife doesn't cook. What the hell? Oh, man. You can cook, can't you? We talked about this. You're a little bit of a cook, right?
I dabble.
You dabble?
As in, if I had to fend for myself, I'd last maybe 2 days.
Rice says Tampa Bay's going to be in this Avs zone all night long. Now, if that happens, that's going to be bad news for Colorado because you're not going to get a situation where they're going to...
A part of me was tempted to take the Vasilevsky over in saves.
Yeah.
It was at 32.5, mostly because Colorado basically attempts 40 shots per game.
Right.
But I decided not to because Tampa defensively, from what we've seen against the Rangers especially, and Florida, they're just dominant in the neutral zone.
Right.
And I'm concerned that Colorado's not going to have as many clean entries as they've had throughout the entire postseason, because this is easily the best team that Tampa's faced the best team that Colorado's faced up to this point. Tampa, it depends on what your thoughts are about Florida and Toronto. I think we would agree that Tampa's had the tougher path up to this point.
Yeah.
Does it concern you at all that Colorado got a bit of an easier schedule because Edmonton upset Calgary, stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been as battle-tested, but this is a team that had the best record.
They were great, don't get me wrong.
In the West, so, you know.
Yeah.
So, JC wants to know if I'm Dutch, only when it comes to paying for shit. I believe my lineage, we never did my dad's side very well, but I believe I have German on that side and Norwegian on the other side. My mom's people are all from Norway, so there you go. Stamkos anytime scorer plus 170. You like that?
I don't mind it. We know Stamkos is not afraid to take a bunch of shots.
Nope.
Kucherov can score, but he's really embraced being a facilitator so far this postseason. So the power play, Stamkos should get at least one-timer per power play.
Yeah.
So I do think you're looking at a lot of chances there. I am curious what Braden Point's situation is. I know he's playing, but he hasn't played in so long. He's on the power play. He's going to be, of course, in one of the first two lines. Do you ease him back into it, or do you just tell him it's the Stanley Cup, figure it out?
I don't know. The doctors and the coaches have a handle on that. I do not. I don't know what he's looked like in practice. I don't know what he's looked like in the skate-arounds. So I can't really offer an informed opinion about that. My gut tells me if he's ready to play, he's ready to play.
I think so too.
So, and he's had time off. That helps as well.
And Point's a good facilitator too.
St. Louis was Colorado's toughest test, says Super Sly. Yeah, agreed.
I'm saying I don't really know how impressive that is because
they didn't have Binnington.
I know Minnesota wasn't a great team, but technically St. Louis upset Minnesota.
Right.
And then you had Edmonton who upset Calgary.
I just think the way it played out, I don't disagree with that statement. Although without Binnington, it's a little bit different.
And with Binnington, they struggled a bit.
Yep, they did. So, what else we got? We got a little baseball tonight. We got a lot of the games underway. Give you a quick update here. Detroit with Fado on the mound, not doing well, Scott.
They might have to blow it up.
Looks bad, doesn't it? Looks bad.
You're down 12-0 to Velasquez. The 12, whatever. You scored 0?
Yeah, against Velasquez. That's not a good look.
That's not good.
We talked about that on the show today. If you can't score against Velasquez, this is your shot.
We said that in the second inning.
Yep, it was
well past the second inning.
It was minus 105 each side. It was 3-0 already.
Yep.
And we're like, well, if you can't score against Velasquez, time to blow that team up. Houston taking care of business against Texas. I don't know why they were afraid of that game, Scott. Lenny and Allie were both laid off of that. Told you to load up.
I personally laid off. I had no opinion on it. I said that based on the regular season meetings, the 8.5 total, each of the first 10 games did go under, and Garcia could maybe pitch well. I once again said there's no chance I'm betting the game.
It looks like Miami has recruited another good young pitcher, Castano. Did not allow a run against the Phillies.
We've seen Miami's bullpen also blow games in this series, so it should be a pretty fun next couple innings.
Yep. 1-0 in the bottom of the 8th, so we'll see how that turns out.
I feel bad for Kyle Gibson. 8 innings, 1 run, 86 pitches. You might pick up the loss.
That's all that's as good as you're going to get out of Gibson. Absolutely. No question about it. That is kind of brutal. So, Scott says Polish and Norwegian. Wife is Italian. Kids all screwed up. Just
They're
kidding.
all mutts.
They're all mutts. Yeah, my wife is she's super fair haired. She's got like Irish and English in her. So
nice.
Like you say, Bronco trying to guess my age. If I like sticks, dude, I'm 60 even. I just turned 60. So no,
happy late birthday.
Yeah, well, no, I'm about to turn 61. Sorry. So yeah,
happy early birthday.
Thank you very much. You had your birthday this week. You didn't make. You're like the youngest person.
I didn't talk about.
You're like the youngest person ever to not make a big deal of their birthday.
I turned 25 on the 13th.
Yeah, that's the last one you can really celebrate because you're fucking...
I can officially rent a car now. Isn't that the official age, 25?
Yeah, your car insurance rates go down and you can rent a car. It's
great.
That's the last milestone. That's it. You're done.
Yep.
You have unlocked the key to all the world has to offer now at 25.
Yep. It's like I gained a third eye.
Is your third eye blind?
As of right now.
Okay, good
It's
enough.
a bit of a semi-charmed life. That is third eye blind, right?
Yeah, it is third eye blind. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the one where the video where they ride all the scooters.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some baseball that hasn't started yet. It's always the challenge. Your Yankees right now, Scott, playing pretty good ball. What do you make of them?
The Yankees,
Mm-hmm.
they're the best team in the league right now.
Okay.
Now, they managed to get a great outing from Cole against Tampa, which is a bit rare. But you have Cortez on the mound against AL Cy Young leader Shane McClanahan.
Uh-huh.
And his numbers are actually insane. Like, I don't know if people realize McClanahan has a 1.87 ERA. I feel like nobody would have known that unless you actively looked it up.
Yep.
So he's been very good. Cortez has been solid, but he has not been as good in the last couple of outings. I wouldn't say Minnesota roughed him up, but he didn't exactly look great last time out. I'm not sure if that's a one-off or Cortez is regressing because he's got a 1.96 ERA. That seems like a little bit of overachieving for Nestor. I was looking into no-run first inning. It was about minus 150, so I decided not to make that my farm. Probably a team total under for Yankees, maybe Yankees first 5 if you have faith in McClanahan to pitch well.
Okay.
I don't mind the spot for Tampa because, of course, McClanahan's their best pitcher, and you're getting a pretty good price at like plus 125 or so.
Yep.
But I'd probably go first 5 money line because the Yankees' bullpen's been very good. Tampa's bullpen's okay, but Kittredge is now injured. They're missing a couple of guys. Tampa's bullpen isn't as good as it was in years past. I would probably go Tampa first 5.
Okay. All right. I'll play the under and walk away.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
Bronco Devil says, now I have a year to send Reichel a Yankees cap. Very good.
Yep.
Calvin says game total under and Yankees money line. That's probably the way I'd lean. Although, yeah, I'm
looking at the under too, but if you want to go first 5, you're getting plus price with the AL Cy Young favorite.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
You want to thread the needle there, buddy? Play Tampa Bay first 5, Yankees full game.
You could, or if you wanted to, just take Tampa plus half a run in the first 5. You're laying some juice, but I mean, if you have faith in the McClanahan bandwagon, then you're getting a hell of a deal.
Where's the value in Cy Young, buddy?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
I mentioned the value last week was on Alcantara.
American League.
I said earlier this week Manoah
okay.
would be my option, and that was about 8-1. And he went out and gave up. I think he gave up 1 hit against Baltimore his last time out.
He's still 725.
Just saying. Mm-hmm. It was 800. So I think McClanahan should be favored because he's going to be ahead on the strikeouts. But if you want to talk about where the value is, I know Toronto will get him run support. I don't know if wins even matter anymore.
Okay.
For Cy Youngs, they kind of don't. But if Manoah ends up with 20 wins, it's going to look pretty good. Toronto should get him a bunch of run support. The value itself, I would look at Manoah.
I don't hate Gausman at 9-1 either.
Okay, that's fair too.
I'm okay with that. You make a lot of the same cases with Toronto. I worry about him splitting the votes with Manoah.
Yeah.
Verlander's the other co-favorite.
I liked Verlander to start the year. I mean, if you're looking at his performances for the last couple of months, He's been good. Do you think he's been amazing?
No.
He's been fine.
Not lately. No, he's been fine.
That's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't currently invest in Verlander. I think you missed the boat on that.
Okay.
But yeah. McClanahan and Manoah right now would be my 2 picks.
Okay. All right. Very good. Anything else on the baseball card before we get to business?
Well, a decent amount of games already started.
Right.
I have a play today on the Blue Jays game against Zimmerman. I'm sure you can figure out where I went with that one because Zimmerman's pitching for Baltimore. Do you think he's a bottom 10 pitcher starting pitcher in the league?
Right now he is, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. The Red Sox are laying a big price with Winkowski on the mound, but I don't mind the over. Maybe Boston team total over there. I like the way they're playing. We know Oakland's not very good. Besides that, we did Total Chaos. So we mentioned a couple of totals there. I like the under in the Angels-Dodgers game. I am liking the over in the Pirates-Cardinals game. It was 8 yesterday. Now it's 8.5. Besides that, we're saving one other play for later. Is it time to get through it?
Yeah, pretty much is. Do you worry about Flaherty coming back? What do you think we're going to get out of Flaherty, and do you think he's going to be on a pitch count?
I was looking at the over because, as I said, in Total Chaos, it's his first appearance since October. So I don't exactly trust him in this spot. Plus, the pitch count could be noticeable. He might only go 4 innings. They might ease him into it. But you're looking at Contreras. His road numbers are awful. The Cardinals' offense has woken up. Goldschmidt's been amazing. If you want to talk about some value, NL MVP Goldschmidt, I think, has a lot of value. Because Goldschmidt's been amazing.
Killing it.
And who's the favorite right now? Mookie?
I don't have it in front of me. They're really. I've got American League MVP, American League Cy Young, and home run leaders.
Okay, so I'll pull it up. AL MVP, I was right a couple weeks ago. I said the value was on Judge, and the fact that Ohtani was still favored to win the MVP 2 weeks ago was an absolute joke. And now Judge went from like 3-1 to plus 110. So we'll see if he can stay healthy. But I pulled it up. Let me see what I got here for the NL MVP.
And that's really the only question about Judge, isn't it? I mean, because when he plays, his production is there.
Yeah, he's been great. Goldschmidt's actually favored right now to win the MVP. He has jumped Mookie, as he should. I would probably look for Goldschmidt to have a good game tonight, maybe bet on the home run prop. But Contreras' road numbers are not good. We know Pittsburgh's bullpen's not good. I still like the over there. It would not surprise me if the Cardinals put up 6 tonight, which should help the total.
Okay, very good. All right, buddy, you mentioned it. Let's get to it. I know a lot of people have talked about it already. So, yeah, we're gonna do something I don't think we've ever done before. So, yeah, stay tuned for that because we're going to bring it to you right now. It is time once again, everybody. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Put on your nice, clean overalls. Grab that straw hat. Put it on your head at a rakish angle. Climb aboard your John Deere. Get out your keys. Fire that bad boy up because, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know it, you love it. It is time to bet the farm. All right, very good. Scott? Ma'am? Afternoon?
Evening?
As I mentioned, I don't think we've ever done this before, but we are doing it today because, number one, there weren't a ton of games, and number two, it is just hard to get off of this team right now. We are going to play, once again, the Atlanta Braves on the run line. And no, we're not taking it at minus 150. A little better price today, kids. How about minus 115 for the Atlanta Braves?
Around, I think it's mostly like 120, 125 right now.
Has it gone up?
Still very doable.
Of course it has. All right. So, yes, still very well in the playable range. Braves, they have won their last 13 in a row. Nationals play bad ball, but they play especially bad at home. They've lost 21 of their first 32 home games. Strider. Got a great porn stash, Scott. Great porn stash, little soul patch. He's pitching for the Braves. He has been very good, especially on the road. 19 2/3 innings pitched, 1.83 ERA. And Eric Fettiwap is going for the Nationals. Not good, and he has been even worse lately. His last 3 starts, 11 2/3 innings pitched, 10.03 ERA. So I'm going to go on a limb and say over those 11 2/3 innings, he's given up 12 runs. That's just a guess. So
it's not good.
Not good, Bob. Not good at all. Bad pitcher, bad team, taking on the hottest team in baseball right now. You know what? Jones said it earlier. We're gonna ride this horse till it dies. We're gonna keep whipping him down the stretch. Give us the Atlanta Braves on the run line. Minus, let's call it 120, shall we?
And of course, Atlanta's still getting 9 at bats.
Yes, Atlanta's still getting 9 at bats, being the visiting squad. So that's going to do it for the farm. That's going to do it for today's show. As always, appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget, if you weren't able to see it live, you're not able to watch it on video. If you're in the car, you're on family vacation, don't sweat it. We're still available on all your regular podcast platforms, so make sure you get over there and download that, rate and review, give us 5 stars, et cetera, et cetera. And speaking of 5 stars, you guys are always a 5-star audience. We appreciate you stopping by. Good luck on all of your plays today. And Scott and I, well, you know what? We'll be back to do it again tomorrow as we do our thing every single day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, doing our level best to help you in that journey to head back to the window. Take care, everybody. We'll see you then.
Cool.
There you have it.